Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. Greetings, Madria. And Madria is at a birthday party for her grandbabies. Greetings, So Alicia. Thank you for the super chat. Greetings, Asatar. And as we all know, you're working. So keep doing your thing and make sure you get some big tips. Greetings to anybody that's in the bushes, in the trees, in the limbs, on the sand, on the beach, on a cruise, on the boat, wherever you may be. Greetings to all. But I thought I'd better give my take on what's going on and what I see with the DA of Fulton County. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to watch any of the DA from Fulton County. Hey. Whoever you are, Southside breath smells like Toothless Tiger. Boy, chair, that is just ridiculous. Thank you, So Alicia or Asatar, whoever hit that person. I thought that was Southside. I just saw the face. But hey, Southside, hey, Southside. But I thought I'd just chime in on what's going on. We have all kind of people that wants my attention. Of course, none of them wants to come into the chat and learn something to help their children. They would rather come in the chat and make fun of a 65-year-old woman that is wise, lives in her integrity, although some may not think so. I've had people call me a fraud. They've called me a scammer. They've called me all kind of things. And of course, I found out that's what you get in the YouTube world. But it's okay because I'm none of that. I am who I say I am. But I thought this was a topic that really Toothless needed to discuss. I was totally ashamed, embarrassed, and downright disgusted by the display that the Georgia Peach put on Friday. And I believe it was actually Thursday when she testified. Friday was the second day. And she chose not to come back to the witness stand. And I'm so very glad that she decided not to come. You know, we all walk around and we talk about the black girl magic and, you know, we being somebody and we're going to overcome. These subjects seems to be sensitive to YouTube. And unfortunately, it's my life, my people, and I cannot not discuss it until they decide that they don't want me here anymore. But until then, I'm going to try to be as integral and be careful of my words, because words, as I've taught y'all from the beginning, do matter. And it seems that certain words on YouTube, ambiguous in their definition or how they apply it, can be the very word that keeps your video from being monetized. And lately, my videos have not been monetized. Perhaps it's the subject matter. They call things special events, and then they kind of give you this ambiguous definition of what a special event is. Of course, I don't know if they're talking about the event of our lives known as slavery. I don't know what it is exactly. They don't tell you until they decide not to pay you. Then they'll let you know what it is. So it's okay. I didn't get on here for money, but do know I do want money. So if anybody want to cash app or super chat, please feel free to do that. I am approved for that. But as far as advertisements, speaking on a people that are a resilient, brilliant people, seems to be something that's not in line with the service terms and service and YouTube guidelines. I don't know why that is. When people can call you all manner of names and bully and harass you, they say that they're protecting us, but are they really? No, I don't think so. But if they can censor the President of the United States of America, certainly they can censor little old bitty me. Thank you so much, Lovey. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lovey, for sending love my way. Let me just acknowledge Lovey. But we're going to talk about this today from Toothless perspective. You don't have to agree with me. You know, I don't agree to disagree with anyone. So if anyone disagrees, it's fine. We're just going to keep going. I'm just going to give the way I feel about it, because I was very hurt to see the display that the DA made with all of her credentials and her 30 years of service as a public servant. I thought it was totally disrespectful how she reacted in the courtroom. And I don't want not one child that looks like me to think that they can go in a courtroom and act like those people from her office were acting and talking. You can't do that in a courtroom. It's called contempt. Now, the difference in that case that they were having on Thursday and Friday, it was actually a hearing to see if there's any impropriety in the DA having a relationship with the man that she chose to be the special prosecutor in this case against an ex-president of the United States. Now, whether you like the president or not, none of my business. I'm not into politics, so I don't care, because to me, most of us don't know politics. We know what I call nigger tricks, but that's just my word, and who cares what I say? YouTube does. So I'm just going to say what I say in the best way I know how. I've been called all kind of names, and these people are still monetized. I don't know if they're paying for their videos or not, but I do know that they're monetized, and they have the same super chats as I have, the same opportunity to receive payments. So it's very disheartening to me to have been here for as long as I have, to have followed the rules to the best of my ability, and to have the rules kind of like used against you. That's really sad, but that's the American way. And I was looking for this one particular song because it looks like everything in this life has boiled down to, and I'm going to play this and then I'll get into what I have to say. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care who feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean green almighty dollar cash money. Well, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar cash money. People don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar. They just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money. Okay, and I just want to say to anyone who may hit the Cash App, if I don't acknowledge you with the thank you throughout the video, please charge it to my head and not my heart, because I have my phone turned down and I can't hear it because I don't want to hear the ringing and the beeping while I'm in the middle of the video. Hey, Regina M., good to see you. As always, it's a pleasure, and I can't wait to hear your input in the chat. Now, this is my opinion of DA. She says Fani, I says Fani Willis. Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor, and this man's name is Terrence Floyd III. He's an attorney who represented Nathan Wade in his divorce proceedings. The divorce proceedings will be an integral part of what happened on Thursday and Friday, because the attorneys for ex-President Trump, President Trump, whatever you want to call him, Donald Trump, got wind from one of the guys who filed a complaint stating that they, DA Willis and Special Prosecutor Wade, were having an intimate relationship, which by all standards of ethics is unethical. In some cases, it could either be criminal. But we're not going to explore all of that. We're just going to talk about the courtroom, the decorum one should have in a courtroom. Most of us don't get to go in a courtroom because most of us, and when I say us, I'm talking about Asiatic people, plea. It's called a plea bargain. And actually, that's where I'm going with the next subject matter that I'll be speaking on coming up. I'm going to talk about mass incarceration and how it affects us as a people, and plea bargains and things of that nature. So I have some good things planned, and that's what I'll be talking about. Basically, as you all know, that I came here to share my life experience. Y'all let me know if the music is too loud. It kind of sounds loud to me, and that's because I normally play my other music. So I think I'm going to switch back to my other music that I like, because I kind of like having the music now. It kind of soothes me. So I think I'll just go back there. Hey, Phyllis, glad you joined me. I thought you'd be looking at some game. Okay. So this lady made it abundantly clear that she's not on trial. They are. And then she gave the reason why they were, meaning the defense in this case. The prosecutors in this case are actually representing her because she is the DA, and they have a special prosecutor that's representing her. and that's Miss Cross. And I want you to remember the name Miss Cross because Miss Cross did a real good cross on Mr. Bradley. His name was John Floyd III, let me correct myself, is Miss Willis' father. And he is a prominent attorney. But we want to talk about him as well, because she got him on the second day that she was supposed to come back and testify. I guess it was decided, no, she shouldn't come back and testify, so her father came in her stead. And I am using my mind, and this is the way I see it. I'm not giving out false information. I'm not lying. I'm giving my observation and my opinion on what I observed. There have been many videos about what is taking place in this history-making event. And it is a history-making event. And I've agreed with the majority of the videos that I've seen. A couple of people disappointed me as they rah on how the DA walked in and took control and did this and did that. So inappropriate. Although her title was DA, she was defending her honor on the witness stand, and she didn't do a good job of it. They even had people that went to Amazon and found the dress that she had on. $89. The zipper goes in the back. She had it in the front. Some even talked about her not having on the right undergarments. And I would agree, because you could see the half cut below her behind and the sagging of her breast. So I would agree. The lace front didn't look too fresh. But appearance is everything, they teach us. If you're looking for a job, if you want to be successful, you have to dress the part. If you go in a courtroom, you have to dress the part. Willis says, chasing that piece, not grease. This case is all over the tube. Regina say, my goodness, let's get into this conversation tonight. So Alicia said, oh no, oh no. Willis says, there is nothing like our people to look at the smallest details. And that is what we do. But in this case, it is very important. You see, if you're going to prosecute, in my opinion, an ex-president, never been done before in history, for the reasons that you're prosecuting the ex-president, then you should do it with dignity, with decorum, with class, with honor. Something that our young girls can look up to and say, I aspire to be that. This case started out about a relationship and to see if she should be disqualified to prosecute the RICO case. Everybody talk about RICO. Racketeering, influencers, organized crime. But I promise you, listening to those people, no wonder she's so good at RICO. She just laid out one, in my opinion, looking at her. And it saddened me. I've never in my life been so embarrassed and ashamed of somebody else's behavior. So here we go. Fani Willis, the DA of Fulton County. Nathan Wade was an attorney who did family law. He said he did some criminal law, but just, some people may even call it ambulance chasing. He didn't say that, but he did accidents, and that's what they always refer to attorneys that do accidents as ambulance chasers. Terrence Bradley did about the same type law. They were actually in the same law firm. And there was another guy who, for some reason, has managed to stay out of this debacle that we're seeing, but right before our eyes. Regina said, "What? I have not been following this as closely, but check in on enough to pick up on that day's highlights. This case is very important to the U.S., the state of Georgia, and other states." Yes, it is. Phyllis said, "Okay, she had on a loud pink, clingy, stretch dress, and she is not billed as a 10, if you will." Okay. And everybody here are expressing their opinions. We're not bullying anyone. We're not harassing anyone. We're speaking on a current event that's very important to everybody that calls America home. One of the things that the DA did when she was running for DA, and it was national news, we all were excited to see a sister running for DA. She did something that she's trying to make come true. And in law, that's unethical. You can't prosecute a case before it's a case. But she ran on the strength that she was going to put Donald Trump in prison. And she's trying to make good on that promise. I believe once it was determined or leaked, whatever the case may be, that she had an affair with the guy that she hired as a special prosecutor to remove her, then she should have stepped down, recused herself. In the interest of justice, if you're seeking justice. You see, that lady that stands with that torch in her hand, the chains on her ankle, she's an Asiatic woman. And she signifies freedom, liberty for all, whether we feel it or not, whether we experience it or not. That's what she signifies. Anytime there are conflicts of interest, anytime, lawyers should report them. I found one that I thought was interesting. She gave Mr. Wade the job of special prosecutor. Not only that, he enlisted his two partners, and they try to make a distinction that they were not partners at the time. They just worked in the same office. Be that as it may. You know, one thing I know about attorneys, and I want y'all to hear me because I'm going to be jumping from subject to subject. You know, that's how I do things. I have to function with my brain. And one of the things that I realize with these people, that attorneys go to seminars every year, those who choose to attend. And it's called a semantics seminar. It may have another name, semantics, play on words, but they go to learn how to do just that. That's why I've always told y'all from the inception of my channel, words are very important. You need to get the oldest dictionaries you can find, because the oldest dictionaries give more of a true definition to words. You also need a law dictionary, because the law dictionary goes more to the etymology of a word, and you need an etymology dictionary because it gives you the origin of a word as when the words first started being used. Those things are important to have. You see, we're beaten because there was a time we were not allowed to read, and now we refuse to read. And it's to our detriment. We're in the information age. Everything that was hidden is being uncovered. And the worst thing about that is you will get so much information until you'll not know how to prioritize it. And then you will hide whatever information that you found that you could use in all of the new knowledge that you're stacking onto it. That's why the Honorable Noble Drew Ali said that half the story has not been told. If I tell you it all, it'll only put you back to sleep. That's why we give keys, and then you go and further that with your own research, so that you can discover what I've discovered, what others before me have discovered, or something that you can share with the world that you discovered. As Regina said, thank you everyone for joining us here in the Tiger's Den. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to like, share, and comment if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Over here, we speak opinions on whatever we see and hear that has been presented publicly. We also create real content per display and or engage conversation of interest. We also address BS. And that's a jewel. Because it's real. It's really real. So one of the things that I noticed that should have been brought to the attention of the court, and the DA should have really thought about this one real hard, is the contract that she awarded to Mr. Wade's partners, where they split everything a third, they said. A third, a third, a third. So when she gave them the contracts to do what they call first appearances. First appearances is when someone go to jail. You know, the Constitution guarantees us a quick and speedy trial. But you know, when you go to jail, you have to have a first appearance. Here in Texas, it's before the magistrate. I don't know, every state has their own constitution, and so they lay it out exactly how it's supposed to go. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't practice. I don't give advice, but I read law. So I understand a little bit. And that's what I share. The little I understand. So those guys was hired to do that, and then they got something they call tank law filter. And that was supposed to be in the criminal integrity unit. But for some reason, they wanted to change the name during the course of these 2 days of hearings as the integrity civil rights unit. That's what they called it. They didn't seem to know what they called it. They didn't even seem to know how they got the contract. And I can only say they because I'm speaking of one person, and that's Mr. Terrence Bradley. He knew nothing. All of them were subpoenaed to testify, except for the DA. She came as a matter of will and to show you who she is and what she's worked hard to get. And you're going to respect her as such. She came to call an attorney in the courtroom a liar. Not once, not twice, 3 times. She came giving orders to the judge as if he was not the trier of fact. He's going to be the one that decide whether she's disqualified. So it's the debacle. It's to make it look like this. So then if he do like this, then we'll all say it was like that. Because she brought, believe it or not, y'all, that infamous card into the picture. The DA did that. That race card they talk about all the time. You know, the stacked deck that I speak on. No, she brought it in this time. So she brought in, I'm going to say, the stacked deck. Hi, Zeta, glad you're here. She brought in the stacked deck, I would say. She went to the Bethel Church, and she had a hallelujah Jesus time talking about these people. With gangster lean, she had slang in that speech. Glory to God. I thought it was ridiculous, but then that's just my opinion. But the contracts should have been a sign that this is not going to go too well. One of the things I've learned in life, and certainly here on YouTube, when you go after people, make sure that, you know, your little old house is clean. That's what they call it. Make sure your closet don't have nothing in it. Because trust me, I've learned these people will go hunting. Been verified, neighborhood, LexisNexis, wherever they can go, public record. Here we come. And they going to pull it out and they going to post it on YouTube. And everybody going to laugh at your pain. Whether you committed it or someone you love, it's going to become public knowledge. Because it's already there for the public as far as transparency. But YouTube will make sure that it's there for the public for your shame and degradation, which is sad. But it happens every day. Let me keep going. There's a law that's written in the Sun book. Some call it the Bible. It says, shun the very appearance of evil. There's a law that's common to man. In law, it says shun the very appearance of wrongdoing. I am a retired commissioned officer of the court. The DA is a alive and well officer of the court. When you're an officer of the court, trust me, the standard is high for you as an individual. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. Things that everyday people do and get away with, you may not be able to do that. Because people have to have trust in you're doing the right thing. We understand there are so many systems that are against us. And I mean humanity, not just us as Asiatic people, although we have our share. Regina said, it's a lot of people these days throwing bricks at others while they themselves live in fragile, glass houses. I think we need to bring metaphors back with its definition. Phyllis said, the computer did it again. I wrote, not the Statue of Liberty. Yes, the computer will do it. Won't it do it? Yes, it will. So in saying that in God's law, you should shun the very appearance of evil, and in man's law, you should shun the very appearance of wrongdoing. That's what this hearing was all about. Unfortunately, after listening to these people go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, I think it's going to be a real good case. I think it's going to be a good chance. Not only is she going to be disqualified, but now she's going to have to defend against the RICO charges against her lover, and his law partners. That's just my opinion. You guys would have had to have been looking at that trial to formulate your own. But let me just tell you some of the things that happened. The DA walked in with her hand on her hip in a hot pink dress on backwards. Made it to the witness stand, sat down, and told them, I need 3 documents in front of me. Okay. Then she went on as the defendant, or the defense table, questioned her. She told the woman, you lied in this document, you lied in that one. The lady asked her a yes or a no question. Let me explain. I need to make myself clear. Sister girl, that ain't the way you act in no courtroom, and you wouldn't allow anybody that sat on the witness stand across from you do that in your courtroom. And we know that the judge is the judge, but we know there are rules in a courtroom. There are just certain things you cannot and can do. She was very hostile and angry. She said, you accused me of sleeping with this man the first night I met him. I'm not going to let you get away with that. Excuse me in my folly. You know, this is entertainment as well. So if I put some words in there to make it humorous, look at the video. Because I'm not doing verbatim and I'm not playing any of the videos. I have enough problems with YouTube just telling my story. So I don't need them saying, I don't know how people get away with it, but I see people playing videos. They don't speed it up. They don't change nothing. And I don't know. It seemed to be okay. I don't know. Regina say, in my opinion, it will not be good if Fani Willis is removed. If it happened, it would definitely have a trickling effect. Yeah, well, I would say that Fani Willis did it to herself. And I would say, I can't see it going any other way than Fani Willis being moved. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Not much. Fani Willis did this to herself. She did not have to testify at all. They already had a plan. And the plan showed on Friday when the cross crossed Terrence Brantley, who did not want to be there, who did everything he could to protect Nathan Wade. His entire testimony, he would not answer under attorney-client privilege because supposedly Nathan Wade had filed for a divorce. He filed for a divorce November 2nd, 2021, one day after receiving the special appointment of special prosecutor. November 1st, 2021. Timelines are always important, but he had went and hired him as his divorce attorney, they stated, back in 2015, as Nathan Wade kept putting out when his wife had an affair on him. Their marriage became irretrievable, but they decided for the sake of their children, and he didn't want to be one of those men that have children that didn't have their dad in the home. He wanted to stay, and they made an arrangement that they would stay until their youngest child went off to college. Their youngest child went off to college sometime, I'm going to say in August, because he said that his ex-wife was back and forth in Atlanta. She moved to Houston, Texas. And so the only day that he could serve her with divorce papers was the day after he got his special appointment, November the 2nd, 2021. Within itself, it's not bad and none of our business, but they told all of that. None of those questions was asked of them. They just happened to have to explain. Most of the answers were yes or no questions. But let me explain. No, I got to make this right. See, because y'all attacked us. Y'all did this to us. So now we got to say this and we got to say that. No, you don't. You didn't have to say none of that. The majority of the testimony in those transcripts were very unnecessary and not how cases are won. Fani, her father, Mr. Floyd, very distinguished attorney, one of the most, they say, decorated in the country. He's practiced throughout the United States. That means he has license to practice through all of these states. He said that, what was it? It was a percentage he gave of his cases were criminal. He said he grew up in South Central LA, most of his legal career in Washington, D.C. He said he tried a case in Rwanda under international law. He practiced in many states of the Union. He told how he lived in Johannesburg, South Africa, and he retired from lawyering in 2018. He said all of this before he answered a yes or a no question. This is what he told them. He said for political reasons, he couldn't stay in South Africa. So he came back to the States. They asked, the question was, when did he move in with his daughter in 2019? First, the question was, did he live with her in 2019? That was a yes or a no answer. Then they asked, when did he move there? And these are all the things that they said. He said that it would be spring, he would recall spring or summer of 2019. These distinguished attorneys had no recall of nothing that has happened in their lives, other than they know They got to get Donald Trump. That's the only thing that they possibly, if they know that, have any knowledge of. Everything else they could not recall. A client attorney privilege. And you got to forgive me. But it might or might not have been. I've never seen such in my life. And because these are members of the Boule, because Mr. Floyd let us know that he was Alpha, he's a Kappa Alpha Psi, and that Mr. Wade is a Alpha Phi Alpha. He never heard of Mr. Wade and his daughter dating until 2023, when all of us heard about it about 7 weeks ago. Yet he lived with his daughter. Sometime in the spring or the summer of 2019. He got his driver's license for the state of Georgia, September 28, 2019. And he was asked, is he registered to vote the next day? He said he believed it was the same day, but he's not sure. He think it could have been the next day. He said he lived in the home with his daughter and her children lived there. The question was asked, how long did you live with your daughter? The answer, she was sworn in January 1st, 2021. By February, she was forced to move out of her home because of threats and racist remarks. He said he stayed there until about 2022. When about 2022, we'll never know. He remained at the house to cut the grass, the upkeep of the home, and he had a permanent police parked in front of the home. He said it was a brand new home that his daughter built with 4 bedrooms. He said they put all kind of negative words on the house, calling her all kind of names, racist names and things of that nature. So South Fulton County helped him out a lot. They asked, did she have a boyfriend? Oh, yeah. His name was Deuce. Yeah, he know Deuce. Deuce was a DJ of some sort. I think he probably worked on some government job during the day. I'm not sure, but yeah. Deuce was always there. He was there at the home. You met him. Oh, yeah. He was always around, sometimes every day, and sometimes every other day. But you didn't know that your daughter was dating Mr. Wade. Oh, no, I never heard of that. I said I never heard of that. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't even know the man. I ain't never met him. Oh, I forgot. Wait a minute. Let me just say this. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. When my daughter got sworn in, because we are, members of these fraternities, there was some banter going on, and Mr. Wade say he remembers seeing me, but I don't know him. Oh, okay. You want us to believe that? We will believe that for today. He said he absolutely did not meet him in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. only in 2023. Then that's when he remembered about the banter at the swearing-in ceremony, that Mr. Wade remembered seeing him, but he didn't remember Mr. Wade. Yes, so Alicia, under oath, this all was said. Then he was asked, do you have a place in California? He went on and on and on to the break of dawn, going that he was in D.C. and see, people asked him questions, but he was in California because he's doing a documentary. And when he do this documentary, see, this man, he came available. See, he's from Oakland, the San Francisco area. And so he went to California to do this documentary. Sir, I just want to know, are you in California? He finally said he lived in California. She asked that you own property there. And after saying all of this sarcastic stuff, he said he lived with a friend in California. She asked him, did he spend any time in California in 2019? After I don't know what he said, conversation. This is where, y'all, this is really good here. This went to the C word, and y'all know what the C word, the jab. She just asked him, did he spend any time in 2019 in California? He went on and on and on to the break of dawn to say that he was in Johannesburg, Africa, and he came back to the States, to the D.C. area. And you see, that C word, happened, and he was just, too afraid. He was stopped. He couldn't move. He couldn't go to the movies like he loved. He couldn't do nothing. He said, sir, I think that happened in 2020. Yeah, but see, I knew about it before everybody else. See, I learned about it when I was in Africa. See, I learned about it before anybody. I knew about it. But, no, I didn't go to California. God, this stuff really happened. You couldn't make this stuff up. I'm telling y'all for real. Not Steven Spielberg, not Stephen King, not Tyler Perry, not anybody you think that are script writers. No one could write this script the way it's being played out. Right, Regina. Isn't it amazing that he went on and on about Deuce, who is a DJ, and I'm not putting down nobody's DJ. But here this man, she chose to be the special prosecutor, an esteemed lawyer, attorney. So you would think, but this man has never done a criminal case like this, of this magnitude, knew nothing about RICO. This case was so important, she asked the ex-governor if he would be willing to be the special prosecutor. And he said no, he declined. Of course, he was European. He said he got to feed his attorneys in his office. Now, we're not going to even mention that she's paid this man in excess of $600,000 to date. And the bill is still tallying up. The President of the United States of America doesn't make $600,000. She doesn't make $600,000. So the reason why this hearing is being had is because what is being implied is that she hired her lover so that he can get the contract, they can build Fulton County, and she will get the money back. Oh, but it gets better. Because he don't spend money on women. He ain't spent a dime on her. He ain't gave her nothing. But she gave him a $4,000 trip to Belize for his birthday. Yeah, they say that it's up to $1 million now, but I can't verify that. But 600,000 for sure. Think about 695,000 right now. But they say it's up to $1 million. Some of the YouTubers, I don't know. Okay. We got the DA. Hi, Dorothy. Good to see you. Glad you came. We got the DA of Fulton County sitting on the witness stand. Was asked about a trip to Napa Valley. She said they went to Napa Valley. You know, he drinks wine. I drink Grey Goose. I'm like, did this just happen before my eyes? Did this just happen before my eyes? Y'all got to be lying to me. Ain't no way in the world this just happened. I promise y'all that just happened. This lady said she drink Grey Goose. And I would promise you, from all intensive purposes and appearances, she appeared to have had a little before she came and sat on that witness stand. That could not be the behavior of a person who's going after the ex-president of the United States, something that has never been done in the history of the United States. You see, this kind of debacle reminds me of the Terminator. And I've shared this story with you guys before. Today, it may not even be that I can share it because someone may think that I'm picking on someone or talking about a group of people, and I'm only telling you my observation of a movie. We are so now, they don't call it censorship. They call it community guidelines and terms of service and AdSense policies. But it seems like censorship to me, although they cannot be held for any harm that these people spew out of their mouths against you because Congress gave them a pass. But we can be stopped from sharing our opinions. Regina said, according to Willis, Mr. Wade told her a woman is only good making a sandwich for him. She said she always paid him back and never had to ask him for nothing except, no, and she didn't ask for that, Regina. She paid for that. She paid royally for that. You see, it started out, I'm just rambling and going all across country with this thing. So y'all follow me, and I hope I make it interesting enough that y'all go look at some of these people videos, because it's some good stuff. But I tell you, I looked at a news channel. I looked at it in real time when it was happening. And man, oh man, this was some horrible stuff. And I see people on Facebook, you know, in your little circle, you may not know them, but they're just friends of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And all of these women that are sorors, I should say, Boule, go, sister, she told them, woo, she took her power. Oh, she's great. No, she's not. Do not let your daughters do this type of stuff. She could never get away with this behavior in a courtroom. As a defendant, as a plaintiff, as an attorney, not even a judge. You can't do this. There are so many ethical laws, not criminal. Ethical. Her very performance that she didn't have to do could very well cost her this case. And that could have very well been the plan. That could have been why she was chosen. I don't know. It reminds me of Black Lives Matter. How we all thought that was such a great thing. Most, not all, because I didn't, but a lot of people did. They thought they really cared about black lives. No, they didn't. It was an agenda being pushed with a name. And anytime you hear black, we know it's some minorities, some children involved. And he did say, she said, that the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. Arrogant. Oh, but let's go on with this story because it gets interesting, y'all. The scam of it all, Regina. It started out with Miss Yurty. Miss Yurty used to work in the DA's office. Miss Yurty and the DA, Willis, dates back over 30 years. Miss Yurty thought they were friends. Miss Yurty and the DA, although she said they didn't attend the same university, they partied together. She was in the partying circle of the university friends. And then they lost touch some 10 years or so. And then about 10 years ago, she looked up and saw her in Atlanta. And they hooked back up. They hooked up so much so she hired her in her office when she became DA. And remember, she only became DA when? 2021. Okay? But somehow Miss Yurty managed to get fired. Nope, she didn't get fired. She resigned because she was given an option. She was accused of wrongdoing, and she could either resign or be terminated. She chose to resign. But before she chose to resign, they were such good friends that Miss Yurty, as the DA told it, met her man. Met her man is what she said, who later became her husband. And she moved out of her condo, and just so happened I was getting threats at my home, and my daddy was so afraid for me. My daddy forced me to leave my home because he was so afraid for me. He didn't want nothing to happen to me and my children. Not my daddy. He wanted us to be safe. So, did you ask her to move in her condo? I didn't ask her that. No, I didn't ask her that. It just so happened. I don't even know what the rent was. She said sometime $1,400, $1,500. I don't know what it was. I don't even know what the bills were. I didn't even look at them. All I know, she tell me I paid them by Cash App. So now you're using Cash App. Oh, Cash App. Can I get a Cash App? Can I get a Cash App? She paid her by Cash App. Sometimes the rent was $1,400, sometimes it was $1,500. She don't know why it was all them amounts, but she didn't ask no questions. She just paid her. You see, let me tell you something. This is her talking, I'm paraphrasing. My daddy taught me to stack 6 months worth of cash. Now, you know, that would have made sense to me had she given me a reason why he said save 6 months worth of cash. And what I mean by that, if you're telling somebody to do something, it's for a reason. So there is no way your daddy would just say, save 6 months worth of cash. What that mean? Normally you would say, save 6 months of living expenses. Save 6 months of your salary. Save 6 months of your car note. Save 6 months of your insurance premium. Whatever it is. But it's not just save 6 months worth of cash. So sometimes I have as little as $500 in my home, and sometimes I'm in excess of $15,000 cash. Everything I do is in cash. This is the DA talking for Fulton County. Cash transactions are questionable in all businesses. There are times when you exchange cash. There are. But trust me, when you're going to take down not only a president, it happened to Al Capone. When you're going to take down a person, then one thing I learned working for the U.S. Department of Treasury, you always follow the money. That's what she's done in taking down all of our young rappers. Not saying that some of them may not deserve to be locked up, but again, I can't buy that because we're using lyrics. Most of those guys have never done any of the things they write about. They're using their brilliance in their mind to rhyme and to tell a story. One that's believable. But everybody knows you have not unalived anybody and sung about it on no song and went and gave a concert. That does not happen. Not saying you haven't been involved in some crazy stuff. I don't know what you've been involved in. I don't know you. But I've lived 65 years. And we know that don't happen like that for our children. After all, in 1994-96 Omnibus Bill, they were known as super predators. When the mass incarceration of our men started. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about those subjects coming up. But I could not talk about this that hurt me so bad. Now, he said that his daughter had to go because so many threats. Y'all don't understand how many. Even before she got the DA's position, just her running, it was just so many. It was just horrible. And so he had to get her to a safe place. She said, my dad couldn't come with me because, he's 80 years old and, he was so afraid of, that illness that came out, the C word. He was so afraid. He didn't want to be around nobody. He didn't want to leave the home. He ain't mentioned the C word other than the fact he knew about it before he ever came to America. That's all he ever said about it. Didn't sound like he was afraid at all. You see, what we don't know is, and I tell y'all this and have said this from the beginning of my shows, words are very important and they have meaning. And one of the attorneys had to overcome an objection saying just that very thing. You see, because we got to get back to Nathan Wade and the divorce interrogatories, because that's where the stuff get real good. Dorothy said, right, and give nothing back to the community, especially the black community. They embellished in the white community. Tell the truth now. So Alicia said bacon, etc. Some reason, Alicia. Regina says, so Alicia, just shameful. The entire organization was created by people other than us. That's right. And HBCU as a backdrop with the latest faces poised as the leaders to it. They also were all LG. Whatever else alphabet you want to put on it. And we're against none of them. We're just talking about what happened. That's what we're talking about. I've heard people say so much worse on this YouTube. So Alicia said, Regina M., yep, moved right by the people they claim they. Tell the truth. So she said that he was afraid for his safety. He said he was afraid for her safety. So they asked, why didn't he move out if he was so afraid? What about your children? Because she moved in Miss Yurdi's condo before Miss Yurdi was accused of whatever. She said it was false. But she was forced to either be fired or resign, so she chose to resign. They are no longer friends. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. They're no longer friends because of what happened in the office. So Miss Yurdi was asked, have you ever seen them and see, remember I told y'all in order to actually talk about something in a manner that makes sense, there always has to be a timeline when you're dealing with any event. You got to go back to the beginning. That's why in the Sun Book, Holy Bible, it starts with in the beginning. That's why if you have any kind of emotional problems and you go see a therapist, they want to know in the beginning. That's why if you go to the doctor with an illness, you want to know the history of the beginning. You got to have a timeline. That's the only way that you can come up with the truth of the matter, is if you have a timeline. Well. Let's go back to Miss Yurdi. Miss Yurdi, they asked the question, did D.A. Willis ever tell you about Mr. Wade? Yes, she met him at a conference. Okay. Did she ever tell you that they were dating? Yes. Was it before November 1st, 2021, which is when he got his position? Yes. When was it? Was it in 2019? Yes. That's when they met at the conference, October 2019. October 2019. Okay. How do you know? Did she tell you that they were dating? Did she tell me? Yes. Or what she told me, or what I observed? Oh, what did you observe? Kissing, hugging, things that people do that are in a relationship. Oh, okay. DA got up there, that woman ain't no good. She ain't my friend. I know her. I've been associated with her, but she's not a friend of mine. I wouldn't call her no friend. Now, Miss Krause over there, she's a friend. Miss So-and-so, she's a friend. Mr. So-and-so, he's a friend. But that woman is an associate. That woman is a sister that she once called a friend. So much so she lived in her condo, paid her money through Cash App. She doesn't know. Some months it's $1,400, some months it's $15. If she says she needs $70, she give her Cash App. Now she didn't use the cash that she kept stacked in the house. She used Cash App. That's what she said. Okay. Why is that important? Have you ever seen them, Mr. Wade and Miss Willis, in a social setting? Yes, I have. Why is that important? Because D.A. Willis said that Mr. Wade has never. Nope, I'm not. I took notes. These are notes that I took, and I stopped the video and typed the exact words of these people. But I promise you, it's some good stuff out there, baby. Channel 11 News really is good. They got about 8 hours. But the best person, y'all, I've seen cover this story is Choke No Joke. Choke is really no joke. He did the thing on this story. If you would go back and look at his videos, baby, he shows the videos. One is about 7 or 8 hours, and I don't know what the other, but I looked at it at the news when it was on live, Channel 11 news, whatever that, I don't know if that was Atlanta or what. I was just looking at the news while the trial was going on. But Choke No Joke has all of them. He has the Miss Yurdy, the DA, Mr. Wade, and Mr. Brantley. He have all of them together, their testimonies. And boy, it is really something to behold. Now, Judge Joe Brown did a good job of breaking down the case. It's the ladies' show that he be's on, and it's like 2 days of shows. And I just looked at the other part 2 tonight before I came on, and it was very good. But he told the credentials and how great the father was, because he was back in that time of the, Black Panthers. And so he would do things and that most people were afraid to do. He did that. So he really does have whatever claim they have. A lot of people in the chat was making all kind of jokes and say he looked like Grady from Sanford and Son. Yeah, Regina, I couldn't help it, but I had to take notes because I really wanted to talk about this for real, though. I'm not trying to be verbatim per se, but some of this stuff I just had to, this is stuff these people actually said. I mean, they really said this stuff, and I was just like, I'm all over the place because I cry for our people because it's so much we don't know, and this is, you got people talking about this was a great thing she did, and we all know that that's not the way you would act in no courtroom. I don't care the reason she was not. She told that lady, I'm not on trial. Those people are for trying to steal an election. So no matter how you want to put me on here, girl, you don't talk like that to nobody. It's just like these people on YouTube when they claim they're going to get together and settle something. Yeah, bring your bitch ass on up here. How you going to settle something you talking to somebody like that? You know y'all ain't finna have no decent conversation. Why don't you just extend them the invitation to come up, and then you can go with all of that. You can't start that and then talk about you dropping your link like you somebody. You only somebody to you. You don't mean all that to everybody else. It was really hurtful, y'all. The daddy came the second day because she was supposed to come back. But, again, I know they told her, no, ma'am, not ever again in life are we letting you get on the witness stand. So the daddy came with his credentials because he got to slide in there on yes and no questions. I did a fellowship at Harvard when Miss Willis was about 3 years old. And see, I had a $10 bill. And I had, I think, American Express and I think a Visa, I'm not sure. But, she and her mom and I, at the time we went to a restaurant to eat in somewhere Massachusetts, he said. And he said, the man said the bill was $9.95. So he said he gave him his American Express card, and he said, we don't take that from you. He said, okay. So he gave him his Visa card, and no, we can't take that either. So he had traveler's checks, and he gave him a traveler's check. We don't take checks. Now this is real money, but I gave it to him. So I had a $10 bill in my pocket, and I never forgot that. So I told my daughter, keep some cash. Now, see, he didn't say the 6 months. She said the 6 months. Keep some cash. So this won't happen to you. She said, my daddy stated, keep 6 months worth of cash. Makes no sense. So again, I say, I don't know. Her arrogance is really too much. And I don't care if this was bumpy, lumpy, or dumpy. I don't care who she was going up against. This is too much. Disrespect is disrespect. They got us going talking about race, but it's only one race, and that's the human race. And we're not respected. No, we're not. And we're not treated as adults. No, we're not. But we don't want to wake up and do what we can do to make life better for us. So who we going to keep blaming? We don't control or own nothing, like I told you to. I think it's a sin and a shame that you would demonetize a video for one word, but not tell me how to fix it before you decide it's the final decision. I think we should be given the same opportunity when our videos go yellow. I think we should be given the opportunity, just like they do with copyright violation or privacy violation. We should be told the timestamp of the issue, and we should be given X amount of days to correct it. And if we choose not to do that, then it should go demonetized. I don't think you should turn my stuff yellow. I appeal it. You say no. I appeal it again. You say no, but after the second time you can't appeal it no more. That's when you tell me what the problem is. That's not right. I understand that. And like I told them, I realize I don't own nothing. Nor do my people. I realize I don't own this platform. I realize I can't tell y'all what to do. But I do realize I live in honor and integrity. It doesn't matter who doesn't. You see, because Google owns YouTube, and they have all the articles that I'm reading from. So they have also commercials on those articles when you pull them up. So, but when I say it, it's an issue. So is the issue what I said in that word when I quoted an individual, or is the issue my subject matter when I'm trying to tell my people we can do better? We can rise above anything. I'm not a panther. No. I'm not no panther. I'm a mother. That's what I am. I'm a woman. That's what I am. I'm an aunt. I'm a sister. I'm a cousin. I'm a friend, and I'm an enemy. I'm even two men's ex-wives. I'm that. It is my duty to help uplift fallen humanity. We're the only group of people that includes everybody. The only group. Yeah, they should be. They really should be. See, I'm looking at a different way. Because you can't hold them responsible for what these people say and do to you. So now they're hiding behind bullying and harassment. So people that are making great content, they're telling us. You got to watch what you say. But there are definitions again. Words matter are so ambiguous to, like I told them, in this instance, I would have gotten it wrong because we do have to self-analyze our videos. We have to certify them. I would have gotten this wrong because I didn't see a problem with one word in a quote from a 16-year-old Hispanic boy. I didn't see a problem in that. I was quoting out of an article that's published and in every library. I mean, I don't get it. They said they know that I didn't like what I had to hear, that they weren't going to do anything about it. You can't be monetized for that. Let me get off of me and back on these people because, y'all, I'm seeing things. So Miss Yurdy said that she observed the kissing and the hugging and all that. And she said that this was before Wade was appointed November 1st, 2021. And she said of the social setting. And she said it was before 2020. Now, I can say this about Mr. Wade. He's a miracle. He's a miracle. Because they all testified that Play the violin, y'all. Hey, Majestic, it's good to see you. Play the violin, y'all. He suffered from cancer in 2020. But by 2021, he was just focused on his health. So that would mean, I assume, he was cured. Shortest cancer amongst men that I've heard of. Shortest. But that's what they said. So, her home is in South Fulton County. The condo is in Hapeville. I thought they were saying hate, but it's Hape with a P. Hapeville. So the way they distinguish the houses, because the DA said that you accuse me of living with this man. I ain't never lived with this man. You lie. Okay. Forgive me. Okay. Okay, ma'am. I sorry. Shit. I sorry, ma'am. I sorry. Okay. So, DA says that Mr. Wade has been in the condo 1 or 2 times. They may have gone to... First, she said they'd never been in the condo with Miss Yurdy. I didn't live with Miss Yurdy. I've never lived with Miss Yurdy. Okay, ma'am, nobody said you lived with Miss Yurdy. Okay. Okay. So, you know, it's clear. You're saying that Miss Yurdy had moved out when you moved in. Yes. When I moved all of my... Well, not all my stuff. You know, some of my stuff in... Oh, ma'am, do you have to say something every time you answer a question? Can you just not say yes and no, which is what we're taught to do? Could Mr. Wade not just took the 5th fucking amendment, which they should have been taught to do? Oh, but he claimed the privilege, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all when he claimed the privilege. Okay, let's give you a timeline. Miss Yurdy moved out of her condo when she met her man, and now they married. This is what this lady said on the witness stand. She moved into the condo shortly after she became DA. She became DA in January the 1st, I believe, 2021. I got that date written down somewhere. Remember what I told y'all about the information age? Y'all, my mind was going so, and I'm trying to get this stuff because I've been watching it so intense. I waited to the last second. Yes, they do. But look at her, Majestic. Don't you put them in no peach cobbler. Please don't. This almost make me not even want another peach cobbler. This is really kind of sad over here, y'all. I'm telling you, this is sad. Okay, so let's go on with the story. Miss Yurdy. So she moved out. She with her man, who she eventually married. Okay, D.A. Willis said Miss Yurdy and Mr. Wade were never in the condo together. And then Mr. Wade said all 3 were in the Hapeville condo many times before his appointment on November the 1st, 2021. He said they went because Miss Yurdy was living there, and perhaps he received some document, and so they went over to the condo. So the attorney asked him, what document would you have received that y'all would have needed to go to the condo to look at? He don't know what it could have been. It was probably something. Okay. D.A. Willis said, well, you know, maybe Mr. Wade I didn't get struck, y'all. My internet went out. Unless they said cut our internet. Maybe it. But my internet went out. I didn't get struck. I wasn't on mute. I was actually gone. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I was actually gone. This thing just went plain blank and said try again. So, boy, look at here. My internet was completely gone. I got the best internet they claim money can buy. So, that just goes to show you. Even the best falls short. Oh, but let's get back to this good story, y'all. Y'all just ain't gonna believe this stuff here. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So then she went on and said that they probably was, at that condo, Then the lawyer asked him, how many times were you there? So he couldn't figure out, and I was just about to say, Judge Judy always, if she asks you a question and you go to answer, you can't look up, you can't look to the left, to the right. She say right here at my eyes. It's a reason for that. When you start looking all up, you're trying to come up with an answer. If you look one way, you finna come up with a lie. If you look another way, I don't know what you're gonna do. But that's the way Judge Judy handled it. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Okay. Okay, Alicia. I love you, girl. Yeah, I was knocked off when you couldn't hear no sound. So, let me go. My phone must have came back up because I had it turned down. And I just heard that ding ding. Okay, y'all. So, okay, here we go. So the lawyer say, what if I tell you that you made a whole lot of phone calls from the Hateville condo? No, I didn't make no lot of calls from no Hateville condo. He said, what if I tell you the phone records show that you made a lot of calls from the Hateville condo? Would that be a lie? Yeah. He said the phone records would be a lie? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do that. So now there's something going on here, y'all. Just being a woman. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Just being a woman. And everybody's free to choose whatever they want to be called. They're free to choose whoever they want to love. But it sounds like some hanky-wanky-panky going on here to me. And this is just one woman's opinion. You got two women and you got one man. You can use whatever thought you want to put in your head. But it sounds like some hanky-panky-wanky was going on. Because Miss Yurdy lost her job at the DA's office. Regina said, if you look up, you're telling a lie. If you look one way or another, just making up lies as you go. Judge Judy, girl, you are cracking me up. I'm glad, because this is funny, some funny stuff here. Y'all, it's not funny with humor, but we gotta laugh to keep from crying. We say the children are our future, and we actually got women on here talking about, you go, girl, you did the right thing. Dr. Richie, I was never so disappointed in a person. You know, it was bad enough. I sent him all my video about the congresswoman, and he actually did a story of his own a little later that day. I'd like to think it was because I, sent them that information and stuff. And he normally give everybody credit, but he didn't give me none, and it was okay. I wasn't mad at him. But when he said that this woman was doing the right thing, and he said he just got a law degree, he know that's a lie. This ain't right in nobody's eyes if they got eyes and can see. But everybody's entitled to what they want to believe. But please tell your children. You know how they used to tell us we got to have a talk? It ain't no talk for us to have with the police because they're going to do what they want to do. The best thing you can do is take the fifth under Miranda, be quiet, and hope you come out alive. Because we done seen many of people in handcuffs, not saying anything, didn't get to go home alive. So it ain't no talk. But if you must tell them anything, how about just shut the fuck up? Just be quiet. Be quiet. If you're on the witness stand, only answer. If it's a yes or no, yes or no. Be truthful. Don't add nothing to the story. Only answer what they ask you. Don't give them a soliloquy, a dissertation, a goddamn story, a movie. These people was giving out movies. Y'all don't hear me. I'm talking about movies. This was utterly ridiculous. But don't y'all think it's a little wanky going on? The phone records say he was at that Hopeville a whole lot of times. DA said he never spent the night with her. He said he ain't never rode with her, and her security team escorted them anywhere. Never. But he had rode with her 2 times. She said, my security team, have they ever? No. Well, 2 times they did. 2 times he may have rode with me and my security team was there. He said he didn't buy her nothing. He ain't never gave her nothing. If you knew the DA, you know she's a strong black woman. See how they use strong black woman? We're not strong women. Quit lying to yourself. You're powerful, but you're not strong. Strength comes in men. And don't play with the word by any definition. We're powerful. We have a place. We need to stay in it as women. We've lost our way because we're trying to emulate something that'll never be. Go back and look at the women in your family. Whether they did good or whether they did bad, you know one thing about it though. They did their best. You see, because behind every woman, there is a story. Same with every man. Every man came from a woman. Every man. Even the one that everybody say saved him. He came from a woman. This is not the way to act. Not even in the hood. If she was in the projects, Shay wouldn't let her get away with that. I don't care what you say. Trinisha would have beat the shit out of her if she came there like that. Shanae, Hennessy, Mercedes, and Porsche. You know all them names that we call our children. Foreign cars. When other people's names have meaning. The sun, the moon, the earth. Honor, integrity, dignity, hope, joy, freedom. Yeah. Lord, let's get back to Fani. And I just want to call her Fannie Mae. Because that's what sounds like her middle name should be. I don't know what it is, y'all, but she just sounds like she ought to be Fannie Mae. My daddy had a cousin named Fannie Mae. Honor to Fannie Mae, my daddy's cousin. She's no longer with us. But Fani said that he rode with her 2 times with her security. He said he never rode with her with her security. Never, ever. So now this is what I'm getting to, y'all. This was about just disqualifying her from being over the Trump case. Now it looks like they're setting up a beautiful RICO case, because now they went a-traveling, y'all. And when I say they went a-traveling, y'all, they went to a cruise October 28th through October 31st. That's a 3-day cruise, unless I ain't counting right. Tickets, $3,000. Oh, where's the dollar amount? $3,335 Royal Caribbean cruise that she gave him cash. Because see, what he would do, he would take the trips and put them on his business card. Now listen to this. Oh, Mom Boss, you probably would really be interested in this part. See, he has his own travel agency that he used. He got his own travel person. He got one for trips and one for cruises. I never heard of nobody have nothing like that. See, I don't do all that traveling like that, so I don't know nothing about that there. But what I do know is he got his own. And so he called his people and he put it on his card, and then I give him back the money. And see, I gave him back that money before we even left. Now, that trip was a 3-day trip. Now, I think we might have spent the night. Have you ever been to Florida? I've never been to Florida. Well, I think we flew into Florida to go on the cruise. God, woman, stop it. Please stop. And I think we spent the night. Now, what I can't remember, did we spend the night before we went on the cruise, or did we spend the night after the cruise? It was one of those nights. But it was the day before, the day after. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But all I'm telling you is that we went on the cruise, and I paid him before we left. All cash. And you have all this money because my daddy told me to stack my money up. Money is fungible. Okay. Okay, so ma'am, during the time you doing this, you had a $4,600 tax lien against your home, and you used your cash to go on trips with Mr. Wade and not pay your lien. You don't tell me how to spend my money. I went shopping too. Okay, ma'am, where did you get all of this cash from? My blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, ma'am. And you gave him cash. So when you all were on the trip, yes, so that's when you met his mother. Yes, I met his mother. Yes. The cruise they went on in December was with his sisters. She met his sisters on that cruise. And see, y'all assuming like he paid for me. He paid his share, I paid my share. That's what she said. I gave cash. He said, y'all assuming while we was on a cruise with my mother, everything that we did was with Miss Willis, but it wasn't. See, that's what y'all don't know. A lot of this, I didn't give her money. I may have done this, and she may have done that. And, see, she paid for all the excursions. But, a lot of them, she didn't even go on. They were just with me and my mama. Why do we need to know any of that? I just want to know, why do we need to know? Anybody can tell me why we needed to know that? He just want it to be known that he using this woman like nothing, that she's paying for the D. And all y'all better beware. If you get a man, this how you better treat him. And we've done some dumb things for men in our lives, women. We have. Matter of fact, that's when we're the dumbest. When we're involved in an intimate relationship. We let men, if it's a man that we love, men let women, if it's a woman that he loves, or if you're same sex, whoever the object of your love is, we allow them to do things that we wouldn't allow nobody else in the world to do to us. We do that. For whatever reason, we do it. But this man, they didn't ask none of those questions. He volunteered all of that information. So that was October 28th to 31st. And I'm going to have to assume that happened in 2021 is what I'm assuming. They didn't really tell the year, because let them tell it, they didn't start talking. Everybody asked, okay, when did y'all start talking? He remembered they started talking in early 2022. Perhaps it was maybe March or April. She remembered they started talking early 2022, maybe February or March. These people don't remember nothing. Nothing. They don't remember nothing. When did y'all break up? She said that he would say as a man, because y'all got to remember, he's a black man. So he would say June or July. But she would say August of 2023. Because they hadn't had the tough conversation. And everybody know with the black woman, it ain't over until you have the tough conversation. Now, what do any of that mean? Y'all will have to, define that for me. Because although I know that we're all people and we do a lot of things alike, I'm not familiar with that recipe there. I'm not. I bet you I can tell you when I started dating. I bet you. I can tell you. Almost on everybody I dated. But, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta look at that later. My cousin is a doctor, and she was just on the news talking about this weight loss drug that they've been talking about. Ozempic, if y'all ever heard of it. I think there is some controversy behind it. I'm not sure, but I've heard people talk about it. My cousin was texting to let me know that our cousin was on the news talking about it. She's an MD here in Dallas. How long were they together again? They broke up in 2023. Yeah, they claim they started. Listen to me again here. They claim. They don't know when. He said early 2002, but he think it was April. She said early 2002, but no, 2022, y'all. 2022. I'm not talking about 2002. 2022. 2022. It was either February or March. That's when she think it was. He said early 22. He think it's April. But they were broke up. You ain't heard it yet, Regina. Get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. That's one of TD Jake saying. Get ready, get ready. Regina, hold on, Regina. Get ready. His birthday is March 18th, 2023. So the first year they took a trip. He was hired November 1st, 2021. So, see, what they're trying to say is their relationship started after he was hired. What they're proving is, and they're really making it look bad for them, that they started messing around after they met at that conference. Nobody said they slept that first day on the 9th, 2019 in October. But she had given his friends, when she became the DA in January 1, 2021, she gave his partners the contracts to her office for first appearance and tanked hearings. By the 28th of January 2021, she took office January 1st. He and his partners shared all revenues times 3. So they divided them by 3. So when she gave them 2 men those contracts, in essence, she gave him a third of those contracts because that's how they did business. Then come November 1st of 2021, she appointed a man who's never done any RICO trial law, any RICO law, barely did criminal law, mainly family law. She gave him the case as special prosecutor to prosecute the president. From November 1st up until now, she's given him in excess of $600,000, which now they say it totals up to $1 million. And the bill is still running. And he actually had the audacity, not the audacity, but the audacity to say he's taken a loss since taking this job. Because he's put in so many hours that he can't bill for. Because the contract limits his hours. But he's worked every day. Every day. Except for the days they took them trips. I think he forgot about them days. I don't think they were working on them days. I could be wrong. But I doubt it. So they broke up. They started, I'm going to say for the sake of our conversation, in April of 2022. But let's listen to the breakup. The breakup happened, for him, she said, June or July. Because when the sex stops, that's for men, that's when the relationship is over. But for women, her, August, that's after, they have the tough conversation. And that's when they had the tough conversation. So they were together from April 2022, supposedly, until June or July 2023. But listen to this, Regina. I'm telling you, get ready. Everybody, get ready, y'all. His birthday, March 18th, 2023. She decided, since he turned 50, baby, she was going to go all out for this man. She took him on a trip to Belize. She took him on a trip to Belize, and she paid for everything. I'm talking everything, y'all. She gave him all his money before they left, and while they were there, she put $2,500 cash in his hand. Yes, they say it's over $1 million now. But I don't know that to be true. But in the courtroom, it was $695,000. But they say it's up to $1 million. Now, some of the YouTubers are saying that. I don't know that to be true. And remember now, he's with his partner, so they have to split this, they say, 3 ways. But now one of his partners, I got to get to that because I got to get ready to get off of here because I've been on here longer than I would normally stay. But I got to tell y'all this story because it's juicy. One of the partners got fired, and I got to tell y'all why. But it's going to be very interesting how that story played out. It was very, very sad. I feel bad for that young man. Hopefully it's not true what they said. But now, remember, I just told y'all her best friend, that wasn't her best friend, that wasn't even her friend, that she lived in her condo, that she don't even know how much she paid. She just gave her $1,500 to $1,400 a month, paid all the utilities, whatever she said. If she needed $70 or $100, she just cashed after cash after cash after. But when it came to this man, everything was cash, cash, cash. She took him, Belize, paid for everything. So everything he put on his card, his business card, everything he put on there, she paid back. Everything that was spent, even down to the tattoo shop. It wasn't no tattoo shop. Well, that's what's on this bill, sir. You know, I don't know what it was. I'm just reading. She paid for all of that. Yeah, she paid for everything. Everything. I've never paid for nothing for her. Nothing. They've gone out. They've had lunches. It's not like I say, oh, well, I paid $25. You paid this. No, that ain't nothing. I mean, the arrogance of these people and the way they were talking. She spoke so loving, highly. I'm not going to emasculate a black man. I've gotten closer to him because of what we're going through. I believe we've come closer because of the attacks y'all putting on us. That's him. Okay. They went to the Caribbean, they went to Belize, they went to California, they went to Tennessee, they went to Alabama. What they didn't tell us, they went to D.C., they went to Texas, they went to a whole lot of places together. How do we know that? They didn't introduce it all, but they told some, because those are the things that the wife filed. And I don't think the wife is doing YouTube, although I've seen her on somebody's YouTube page, a picture of her. Beautiful sister. Beautiful. But remember, I told y'all, he kept saying she had an affair on him in 2015. Therefore, his marriage was irreparably repaired. They could not come back together. But the interrogatories in his divorce, y'all, is very important. And that's another reason why all this stuff is important about this, because listen to this. The interrogatory is number 4, number 5, and number 6 in exhibits from his divorce into this case. The lawyer read off the interrogatory. Let me see where I wrote it down, because I wrote it down because I wanted y'all to hear this language. The lawyer said, so Mr. Wade, you filed interrogatories in this divorce exhibit number 4, May 30th, 2023, right? Yes. But please let me go back to tell Regina. Regina, that's what I wanted you to know. When I said get ready, is that she took him on this Belizean holiday on March 18th, 2023. And by June or July, she said they no longer went together. And she paid for every single thing. He paid for nothing. That's what I wanted you to grab hold of. You too, Dorothy. This is a joke, y'all. Alicia, what you say? What you say? Now, the interrogatories that he filed on May 30th, 2023, this is 2 months after the March 18th trip with the DA. This is what the interrogatory said on page number 2. If you had sexual relations other than your spouse in the marriage, including the period of separation, he answered no. No. The lawyer asked him, wouldn't that be dishonest? He said no, because you have to remember, my marriage ended in 2015, and it was irreparably harmed, and we just stayed together for my children. So no. So the lawyer asked him, had he had sex with the DA? Oh, he danced for about 5 minutes before he gave the answer and had to come up with yes. Yeah, they ain't gonna be able to do it, man. They ain't gonna be able to do it. It's really sad. So the second part of that question, y'all, it says, because there's a second part, identifying all occasions which you entertain the opposite sex other than your spouse that was not related by blood or marriage, or they entertained you in dining, drinking, in restaurant, bars, pubs, hotels, including a person home from the day of your marriage up to the present. He answered no. He hadn't done any of that. He said, my marriage was irretrievably broken in 2015 when my wife had an affair on me. And we elected to stay together for the sake of our children, because I refused to have children with an absentee dad. Now, this is what we need to understand about marriages. There is only 3 ways that a marriage can be dissolved. They can only be dissolved by, and I'm talking about a marriage being dissolved, no more, annulment, till death do you part, or a final decree of divorcement signed by a judge. No legal separation would cover this interrogatory. This is, even in good old Georgia, the words read what they read, and he violated these words. Those words were very specific, and they said, from the time of your separation up to present. All of that other stuff he's saying matters not, because he lied on the interrogatories. So therefore, I want y'all to know he went back on May 30th is when he filed those interrogatories. On December, he changed the interrogatories. December 2023. And January of 2024, he changed the interrogatory, those answers, to he plead privilege. He pled privilege. Unfortunately for him, he pled the wrong privilege. He pled privilege of privacy so that these papers wouldn't come out. See, he didn't want them to see his interrogatories that he swore under oath as an officer of the court that he was telling the truth. 2015, his marriage ended. He stayed with his wife for the sake of the children. No legal separation, no proof of anything, just hearsay. Wade should know the law as a special prosecutor. The district attorney should know the law. This is a mess. Yeah, remember, but he's not really a special prosecutor. He was her lover, and she put him in that position. This is their position, and I'm having to agree with them, because why would you take a family law attorney, and make him the special prosecutor of a RICO case for a U.S. president when they got lawyers who actually do RICO cases? One name is Manny, who's right there in Atlanta. Why didn't she get Manny? Because Steve fulfilled the promise of a campaign that she shouldn't have fulfilled. Because when you take the office, you have to believe, we as the people have to believe that you mean right, whether you mean right or not. We have to believe you coming in the spirit of justice, not to fulfill a promise to lock up a man that hadn't even been charged with a crime. So you're going to make up a crime, charge him with it, and then send him away. And we're all supposed to say, that's Donald Trump, or who cares about him, because, he racist. That's crazy. That's crazy. We need to learn the Constitution. We need to learn the 6th Amendment. We need to learn the Article 6 of the Constitution. We need to learn Article 3 of the Constitution. We need to learn Article 1 of the Constitution, Article 2, Article 4, Article 5, Article 7. It's 7 articles. And the first 10 amendments to the Constitution for the United States is what comprise the Bill of Rights. We need to know them. We need to learn them. We need to study them. We need not let people play before our eyes. This is a disgrace. This set women back many, many years, especially us. Our way is already hard, and we truly believe that this stuff is about race. I guarantee you it's not. It's not, y'all. These people look just like us. These gatekeepers, they're not keeping gate very well. The cows are jumping over the cattle guard. If you ever lived in the country, and I didn't live in the country, but I visited my cousins that did, there was a piece of land so that the cattle would not leave your land and go astray. It's called a cattle guard. And maybe many young people don't know about that, but I don't believe no young people listening to me, so it don't matter. But even if you're a little bit older and you don't know nothing about it, it's pieces of wood with spaces between it, so that if the cattle go to cross it, their legs would go down in there and they would break their legs and they couldn't move. So it's called a cattle guard. I didn't come up with it. I don't know nothing about Peter, but that's what the cowboys did, and that's what the farmers did, and that's what they do. A cattle guard. That's to keep them from leaving. Because remember, the cows will follow the leader. So if the leader crosses, the whole herd is gone. It's called a cattle guard. I did not do it. I did not make it up. And perhaps I shouldn't have explained what it was, because it's probably some type of hate speech, I'm sure. I don't know. But I gotta just tell the story. As long as they don't boot me off of YouTube, I can't do nothing about them not putting commercials on my video. Although you can find all this information on Google and they have commercials everywhere. I don't know how my information gets to be so horrible and tragic, but it is, and it is what it is. As long as they allow me to educate my people, I'm grateful, YouTube. Thank you. A family lawyer hired as a special prosecutor for a case against a former President of the United States. The arrogance and disgrace of it all. Yeah, I don't see why women don't see that. And, these people on here talking about hooray and she's cold-blooded. And did you see? That was not no sister girl moment. You know that you do that at the girls' night out party. You do that, in the hood. You do that when you're with your friends. You don't go in a courtroom and actually act as if nobody in the courtroom has sense. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell y'all before I go, because I haven't mentioned him much. I told y'all about Miss Cross and how she crossed Mr. Wade's friend. His name is Terrence Bradley. He was up there, and boy, he didn't want to be there. I got a picture of him, y'all. I'm going to probably post it on my community wall so y'all can just see. If looks could get rid of somebody, but that lady, Miss Merchant, who I believe did an excellent job. The only thing is she talked a little fast, and so I couldn't really kind of hear some of the things she was saying sometimes. She sounded like one of those fast-talking valley girls, so sometimes I couldn't really understand her, but much of the time I could. But if you'd have seen the way he looked at that woman, she would no longer be with us. If looks could do it, she wouldn't be here, for real. But he was there very hostile because, they were subpoenaed. And so he was Wade's attorney, they said. He hired him back in 2015, they said, as his divorce attorney. But now he hired him as a divorce attorney in 2015, but now they only filed for divorce November the 2nd, 2021, after Fani gave him his special appointment November the 1st, 2021. And remember, he said the only reason they waited then is because his wife was back and forth from Houston to Atlanta, and so that was the only day that he could serve her, which we know that's not true if she was back and forth. Be that as it may, he took the privilege. Everything they asked him about him and Mr. Wade, he couldn't even say they said good morning to each other. Their conversation was privilege. Everything was privilege. He said, now this is what that man said, the state bar of Georgia told him at 4:30 p.m. the day before he took that witness stand, remember your privilege. And don't you say nothing about this DA and Mr. Wade. Remember your privilege. Now, this character is very interesting because sometime, and I never could really get the date, sometime, I'm going to say it must have happened in 2022 before, while the affair was going real good and strong, he got let go from the firm. Now, at first, they said they were three separate lawyers. One name was C. I can't remember his name. His name was B, and Wade was W. So they had their own separate law firms, but they shared everything, all three of them. Then they asked them, were you all ever partners? Well, they one time or another became partners, but they dissolved the partnership in 2022. So they were only partners for 2 or 3 months. Now, those guys, she gave contracts. And remember, in 2021, when she became the DA, January 1st, 2021, she became DA. January 28th, 2021, she gave those men contracts, which Wade got a third of those men contracts. They asked him, how did he hear about the position? He don't recall. He think Mr. Wade might have told him. He never talked to the DA. He never, so did you sit down and meet with the DA? You keep talking about sit down and meet. I ain't never sat down and meet. The only time I was with the DA when she signed, I signed them papers. Was anybody in the office? I don't recall. So they didn't recall anything. He never sat down and talked with her. He remembered her coming to their office at least 2 times. He remembered her security detail was with her. Remember, Mr. Wade didn't remember that. Yeah, Marquin, I don't know who you are, how you doing, but she did. She got played awfully bad. It's really, really, really sad. But she was a player in the game. See, that's how it goes. That's why they say the game is to be sold and not to be told. A lot of us get played on this YouTube. Think we're supporting people. Give them our money. Give them our likes. Give them our comments. Give them our time. Only to have them to turn against you. Talk about you like a dog. Make fun and make money off of you. So it happens to the best of us. But this was by design, and she chose to be the vessel. She didn't have to get on that witness stand, and we didn't have to know how played she got. But I'm on Mr. Brantley now. So he's taken up for this man. They talked about Mr. Brantley being his lawyer. Mr. Brantley, my lawyer? When was he my lawyer? I thought you hired him in 15 to be your divorce attorney. Oh, yeah, that's right. Here Mr. Brantley done did a whole day of testifying, and he was on the witness stand a long time, taking privilege. He can't talk about nothing. Why did you leave the office? That's privilege conversation. I can't discuss it. Nathan Wade, what happened? Did y'all get mad at each other? Did y'all accuse each other of something? Did something happen? That's privilege. I can't talk about that. Everything, if they discussed anything, he finally admitted that they did discuss sports. So y'all never had a conversation in a social setting? That's privilege. No, I'm talking about in a social setting. Then y'all have a conversation where y'all didn't talk about, let me read privilege is for you, sir, so you can understand what privilege means. And they read privilege for him. Did y'all ever have any conversations where he wasn't seeking legal advice for a reason that he... Baby, but let me tell y'all what took the cake. Eat the cake, Anna Mae, eat the cake. The lawyer asked him, okay, sir, could you tell me what date that you signed your engagement letter with Mr. Wade? Engagement letter? I don't recall. And I'm going to have to come on camera for this one. Hey, y'all. He said, I don't recall. Okay, sir, can you tell me how much Mr. Wade has paid you? Paid me? I don't recall. So you don't recall signing the engagement letter to become his attorney, and you don't recall how much he paid you? No, I don't recall. Okay, sir, let me ask you this. When is the last time you invoiced him? I don't have my file here in front of me. The lawyer said never. Why don't you just go and say that y'all were partners in the law firm, you was a friend, you was helping your friend out? Because they always forgot that they said that he was supposed to be his attorney. So I'm going to tell y'all, the way these people objected, I'm talking about the DA's office. The way Miss Cross and that other man objected, was just like they tell a pro se litigant. Whenever you're in litigation, if you're pro se, it is recommended that you object to everything because you don't know what you're doing, but you object to preserve information for appeal. So a lot of things they just got in the record, but they didn't talk about it in that setting because that's not why that setting was there. That setting was to show the nexus between their finances, to show that she benefited by hiring her boyfriend, and that's how they were attacking them. So I had to show y'all that, but I'm going back off the camera, y'all. I enjoyed seeing y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed seeing me. Okay. So Regina said if Terrence Bradley left the office to meet with Wade, he most definitely could say that. Privilege confidentiality is he cannot say what was discussed on the reason for the meeting. Yeah, we really understand privilege, child. He went way beyond the pale of the law of privilege. But let me just keep going. So he wouldn't tell why he left the office. He should have told, because Wade's attorney and the DA's attorney came right back and hit him where it hurt. Miss Cross got him on the witness stand. She asked him one or two questions where he thought that she was really something. Mr. Wade said they were not friends. Just like Miss Willis said about Miss Yurdy. She's not her good friend. She was an associate. She knew her for 30 years, but she wouldn't consider her a friend. He didn't consider Terrence Bradley a friend. But Terrence, when she asked him, do you consider Nathan Wade a friend? He said, huh? Is he saying we not friends? Because if he's saying we not friends, then no. But yeah, I consider him a friend. Okay. So when Nathan Wade let you go because you sexually assaulted a woman in the office. Huh? Did you do that? Essay a woman in the office? No, I ain't essay nobody. Did you pay the employee? I left some money in escrow, but I ain't wrote no check. I ain't gave nobody nothing. You left some money in escrow. How much did you leave in escrow? I don't know. I just left it there. I was just asked to leave. I went on my way. I don't know. $20,000. Where did that $20,000 go? Oh, you said you didn't pay nobody. Well, why is it when I asked you, what did you pay the employee? You said, I left some money in escrow. Why would you answer me like that? Where did that $20,000 go? I'm going to say Mr. Bradley. She might not have said that. I'm saying that part. To the employee. Uh-huh. And what about the other essay that you did? I ain't done no essay to nobody. I ain't no another one. You don't know Anna Rodriguez? Anna Rodriguez, I ain't never heard of that name. Anna Rodriguez, your client? I don't know what you talking about. Yeah, you essayed her too. I ain't done that to nobody. So his lawyer stood up and said, Your Honor, objection, because will this testimony here bring the privilege, attorney-client privilege in the question, one of the attorneys on Trump team said, no, wait a minute, don't you take my question. That's what I'm going to ask. The judge said, this has just opened up a whole nother can of worms. From what I just heard, yeah, this is really serious, Virginia. I agree with you 100%. Excuse me, everyone. The case is very serious, and the world is watching. But my goodness, the foolishness. I'm talking about tomfoolery, girl. This is utterly, utterly, utterly a sad day, y'all, for real. For humanity. It's a sad day. Did none of this have to be? They went there for one reason. If they'd have went and answered questions like real people on trial, who knows? This could have been over with Friday. The judge could have made a decision, or he might have waited a day or two and gave it some thought. But with what they've just done, now, so when his lawyer, Trump lawyer, gets back up, and the judge make the statement that this is probably, because see, they had been asking the judge to do a in-camera, in-chambers interview with him and his lawyer for a lot of the questions that he refused to answer under attorney-client privilege. But see, he had said he left because of attorney-client privilege. But when this lady hit him with that, that's when they just threw him in the Georgia penitentiary, unless they sent him somewhere else in another state, because that brother there, he's probably going to be under the water for perjury, probably. In my opinion, again, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer, I don't give legal advice, but I do have opinions, and from my observation, and from his lying, because what that lady from the DA's Miss Cross said to the judge, yeah, he lied. She knew it all the time. He never saw it coming. Y'all, that's really sad when you witness it for real. He never saw it coming. He did everything he thought he could do to protect Wade. Wade was looking like an old slickster from Charleston and Blue, or one of those black exploitation movies. He don't look like the Mac. But he looked like he wants to be one of them pimps that was in the Mac. Everything he did was google. And y'all, I want y'all to know, y'all can be proud about people. There was one day that they consumed water. They may not drink water no other time in their life, but I want y'all to know they was guzzling them bottles down like they was drinking wine and the Grey Goose that the DA said that she drinks. Oh, they drunk themselves some water that day. They had the water flowing. But I'm going to tell y'all, this really is bad. It's really bad for the nation. It's bad for us as a people. And it's amazing how they would use a woman that looked like me to try to take down the next president. I think that is really, really, really sad. You see, we don't even understand how things work. We really don't. And I'm not saying women don't have the capacity, because we do have the capacity to do anything. We are mothers. We are the givers of life. We teach before anybody teach. Trust me, it comes from us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not biased. I'm not racist. I see this as a tragedy. I see this as a miscarriage of justice. And I see if this lady has been running those cases where she sent all these rappers, some they deserve it, some may not, to prison based on lyrics in a song, then certainly we should not entrust people that don't have memories longer than a day to put these people away. These people could recall nothing. And we know that's the way to answer under oath without being called a liar. There are things that you really can't remember or recall sometimes. But there should not be every important moment of your life. There should not be. You don't recall. You don't recall. You don't recall. There should not be. You have no receipts. The lady asked Miss Merchant, asked Mr. Wade about receipts. I don't have receipts. I have statements. So he puts everything on his business card, and he wants us to believe that his accountant take his business card and separate his personal from his business. And one thing you learn when you have a business, if you're not a sole proprietor, there is no commingling of funds. See, if you're a sole proprietor, then you're the entity. But if you have a partnership, if you have a S Corp, a C Corp, whatever, association, affiliation, whatever it may be other than a sole proprietorship, you can't commingle those funds. So he said his accountant knows, oh, this is private. Oh, this is, because he don't look at any of that. But he's responsible for signing those tax returns. He said he makes less money now that she's giving him this job. He used to make at least about $14,000 a month. Now he's only bringing in about $9,000 a month. Regina said, recap, if a judge disqualifies Willis, it would likely delay the case from going to trial this year and could lead to the charges against Trump being tossed altogether. Yeah, I could see that happening because now they just ought to want to know when their case is going to start. They have really done some serious perjury. I can tell you as a revenue officer, one of the things that we did is we looked at newspapers. We looked at cases like these, and I was a low-grade revenue officer. The high-grade revenue officer worked complex cases, but if you got a complex case in your... And so when I worked on investigating fraud, because one thing about that system, a criminal investigator cannot investigate fraud. They can't do it because they are the enforcers of the fraud. We, revenue officers, that's our job duty. To investigate fraud, put the case together, then we have to recommend it. And if they consider it a good enough case, then they will accept it and the criminal investigation then will take on. But it's a lot of things they can't do. Like they can't subpoena records and stuff because they are, of course, the people that are going to be arresting the people. So it's certain things they can't do. I don't know what happened. Let me see what happened here, y'all. I don't know what be happening. Okay, maybe that's it. Y'all, it's all kind of weird stuff happening. Why would a lady like Fani date a married man? I don't know. I can't really hate her for that. I have done that in my past, and it wasn't no honorable thing, but I did it. I was married. He was married. We were separated. We wanted to get together, and we did that. So, I'm not a judger of people. I talk about them. I don't judge them. I don't know why she dated no married man. And in her mind, maybe because he said to her what he said in court. In his mind, his marriage ended 2015. He and his wife just lived under the same roof. Now that's arguable, but that's what he said. I don't know. I think that when it comes to the matters of the heart, we don't really have no hell of a good explanations. Some people take stuff and other people's don't. And that's good if you're one of those that don't. It's good if you're one of those that don't date married people. It's good if you're one of those, that don't have sex before marriage. It's good. All of that's good. But when you're an adult, two consenting adults can do whatever they do if they consent. That's their choice. Don't make it right, but it's life. And I think that's a part of the thing that keeps us from being perfect. You know, everybody claim we're not perfect, right? So if we did everything right, then we would be perfect. So there has to be some flaws in our life. That's just one of hers. The case in Georgia for Trump pertains to his allegations of, that's right, voter election interference. That's what it's all supposed to be about. They made this thing such a debauchery till now it's all off of that. And see, in that book, there was a book, Chasing the Boat or Finding the Boat, that she gave an interview. That was right off of her campaign. And she said that she was depleted, totally broke. She was living from paycheck to paycheck. She was destitute. She said this several times in that book. And they brought the book up in that case. So if you said all of this in the book, where is this 6 months of $15,000 stacked in your house cash? Where are you getting money from to pay this man back cash? Because he bought nothing. Because he said the only thing you can do for him is make him a sandwich. And he said, you said that a man can't do nothing for you. You don't need no man. Your daddy taught you to pay for your own stuff. The math ain't mathing, y'all. That's all. And it's a disgrace. It's a sad day for America. And I wish people would really go look at the news. Oh, you know, when they were actually doing the trial, they're out there. And really take notes. And talk about this with your children. You see, that's one thing I know we're not doing. Everybody's talking about grooming, but are we rearing them to be politicians? Because we know the education board said they're not going to do it. We have to do it ourselves. Are we teaching them history and law? They should be taught together so that your concepts will be right. Are we trying to learn any of this for ourselves? Or do we want to just keep relying on what somebody else say about us? I encourage you, I implore you, I beg you, study the Constitution for the United States. Whether you think it applies to you or not, you need to learn what those 7 articles and those original 10 amendments, which comprise of the Bill of Rights, you need to know what they're saying, because they very well do apply to you. You need to understand that everything in this land is about commerce, and that's the land throughout the globe. Every treaty is for commerce, people doing business with one another. Treaties and the Constitution are the supreme laws of the land. They don't give us unalienable rights. What they do is secure them, ensure that we get them if we stake a claim. A lot of us don't even know that we have the right to stake a claim about anything. I had an incident with a gentleman here on YouTube, and I really thought that this man was honorable. He talked about all the things I talk about, the 7 Hermetic principles, the maxims of law. He talked about these things, and he said everything you do, you must do in honor. And he does consultations, 1 hour, $350. I'm on a fixed income. Trust me, I haven't gotten a check from YouTube in 2 months. I get cash apps, but not many. I haven't gotten anything from my super chats because I haven't been over the threshold. And I just learned that you can change the threshold. So I'll do that. But I want y'all to know that I sacrificed and gave him my money. And what you have to do is go to his calendar. And you have to, once you get to the calendar, you have to pick a date. Well, it won't allow you to pick a date until you pay in full. So I paid with my card, my PayPal card. PayPal is a good friend to have, everybody. I want y'all to know this in case anything ever happened to you. I paid with my PayPal card, and it still wouldn't allow me to choose a date.
So I'm like, wait a minute. I said, okay, maybe something's wrong. They'll get back with me and let me know. This happened November the 1st of 2023. November the 1st. Isn't that something? I waited for about 3 weeks and I didn't hear anything. So I would go in his chat and I super chatted. One time, $9.99. And I just asked, can you tell me how to schedule a consultation? I noticed he read everybody's super chat but mine. I didn't say nothing. I felt funny, as a human. But I didn't say nothing. I waited another week, and excuse me, let me just clear myself. One moment. Yeah, Regina, I just read your message there. People don't even understand. It's not about giving no accolades to Trump. They don't even understand integrity and honor and what the system is supposed to be. Whether these people do it or not, it's what you hold yourself accountable for and responsible for. It's really sad that you can't have decent conversations. And Regina, I felt like that. I said, who could I talk to this about? Because, I talked to my sister and my cousin, but I don't have nobody that I could really just discuss this where we have a real good, serious conversation about and probably see it, from integrity point of view, standards, values. But back to this person, I did a $4.99 super chat. They didn't respond. Read everybody's but mine. I did another $9.99. Everybody's but mine. I even sent $1 cash out with my phone number and asked, could you please call me? Nothing. I went in the chat one day and they were saying that they're tired of people talking about when can they get a consultation? When can they get a consultation? This man wanted to do a consultation and he said, don't prepay. Just go and pick your date and let me know. When you pick your date, I'll send you a text to let you know when to pay. But see, that's not even a possibility because it won't let you pick a date until you pay. And then after you pay, you still cannot pick a date. So that could not happen. But when I heard him say that, I knew then that I didn't want to consult with him any longer. And I wanted my $350 back. So I went into my PayPal to request a refund. They said you have to contact the merchant. So I contacted that person and told them. And they got back with me with about 3 days saying that they're escalating it to the supervisor. Then they waited 3 more days and they need proof that you paid. I sent them all the proof. I first contacted them December 21st. December 27th, I sent them all the proof. January the 11th, they sent me back another email talking about they need proof again. I told them I sent you this proof, but here it is again. And by January 22nd, I had enough. And I told them, I sent them a final demand letter, and I asked for my money again. But I was demanding it. Now, this person teach about law, and they're very well versed and have a voluminous vocabulary, very deep. And I appreciate all of that. But what I don't appreciate is you taking my money. And they're not a person that call themselves a conscious community person, but you know that they've been there because you know the language in which they speak. I'm not impressed by your vocabulary, by your ability to structure words into a sentence in such a way that is different from most, by your eloquence. That don't impress me by your looks, your height, your weight, how many beautiful teeth you have or don't have. I don't have any, but I had some. How long your hair is and what you put on your head. Yeah, they're on YouTube, most definitely. I'm not impressed by any of that. I really take people at their word, and I'm impressed by who you say you are, and you be who you say you are. You tell me you ain't nothing, and if I like to like you, I'm gonna like you for not being nothing. If you say you the shit, I'm gonna like you for being the shit until you show me different. I really take people for who they say they are. Some people say that makes me a terrible person because I have a bad sense of judgment. I don't think my judgment is bad at all. I don't always get it right. But I give people an opportunity to be who they say they are. Let's say come to me with a weapon and tell me that they, gonna end my life, then, I'm not gonna give you no chance. Yeah, it is a lot of, I learned my lesson, Regina. It is a lot. Charleston White said it best. When he looked at YouTube, he came very angry. And when he came and saw the game, he said this was scammers and a con man's haven. And I can tell you a lot of people will sell a lot of game and a lot of con. But the game is to be sold and not told. And my mama always taught us as children that a confidencer, and that's what a con man is. They don't just choose you to con. They play and run the game on everybody. She said it's those that's looking for something for nothing. Those are the ones that get took. Hey, RLG. And so, no matter how you think that this person can help you, if you've been researching yourself, just take what they say and then continue to research. It is nothing they're going to tell you that's going to further whatever it is you think that you're going to further with these people. A workman is worthy of his hire. That's why it's good for you to donate to us, because we really put in work to bring you content. At least I do. A lot of people don't have it to give. That's not going to stop me from why I came here. I'm going to keep giving. But I do want YouTube to put commercials on my videos because I earned the right to be in that program. But now, with the play on words, semantics, that's all it is. And I know and understand that language very well. Then you cannot be monetized on your video. Doesn't matter how much work you put into it. They can view it. And they use algorithms and bots. And then they say they use human beings. Well, you could have a human that don't even comprehend what they're reading. So there too can be a problem. So you just take the good with the bad. But I didn't come here to hurt nobody or to put nobody down. But I do want to warn you that PayPal at first would not help me get my money. And I wrote to the Attorney General, and I'm going to write to the Better Business Bureau. I haven't yet, but I am. But I read an article from PayPal where they were sued, and this person received millions because they didn't help them retrieve their money back from someone that did something as bad as that person. And so now, when you contact PayPal, trust me, they will write a ticket. They will help you. And they will tell you, you will get your money back. It could take a minute, but you will get it back. They're going to try to reach out to the person first. I say, but they don't contact me, so I know they're not going to contact y'all. They say, oh, they'll contact us because we freeze the funds. So, yeah, they're going to do something, but you will get it back. So I just want y'all to be aware, like Regina said. And Regina, you can speak to my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful son. He's in here. The one that always tell me about my discernment. The one that's always looking out for me and having to come to my rescue. My son is my covering, and I'm grateful. But you really have to be careful. no matter how good one sound, no matter how they know what they're talking about, if they led you to the laws or whatever to help in your situation, then just do that. Just do that. If you're willing to defend yourself in federal court, state court, municipal court, whatever court, you don't have to pay anybody $300 or $400, $500 to consult with them. You don't have to do that. But you choose what you like. But I just want you to know that there are all kind of people out here on YouTube. And I know many people don't hear my videos. But I guarantee you one day many people will be looking for them. Because it's not getting any better. And we need to start educating ourselves and our children and preparing them for the future. Because it's not looking good. What happened in that courtroom should have never been, because this wasn't even about them. They've made it all about them now. They've opened up so many cans of worms. It's unbelievable. And poor Mr. Bradley. I guess he was chosen as the fall guy. Because he certainly perjured himself so many times under the privilege. And when that man asked him about the engagement letter and how much has this man paid, and he can't answer that question, it's not a lawyer living that don't tell you when they're representing you, it costs this amount of money, you got to pay this amount, this date, and when we go to court, every time we meet in court, you got to pay. If we're not going to court, you got to have it paid by the court date. So it's no way that he couldn't even give a figure how much that man had paid him. It is no way he couldn't even give an approximate date when they might have signed the engagement letter. Life doesn't work like that. And if that's the way they run their law firm, shame on them and anybody that they represent. These people don't even have the honor and integrity to walk in a courtroom and be respectful to their profession. Forget who they up against. Just because who you are. They allowed their dignity to be tainted by public opinion and by people cheering them on. Oh, look at them. Oh, they going after him. That's sad. RLG, that's him. That's him right above you, Regina. He said he don't like to come in, even though I'm grateful that he be listening, but he don't like to come in because he said he hear me all the time. So I'm just saying stuff that he hear all the time. But he always come in right on time to let me know. And that's what I love about that young man. Bring me to tears. Because he always let me know right on time. And I try to do equally as well. Be a right on time mother. All the time. So I know that this has been, the way I told the story was a little, over dramatic. I know that. I tried to do that. It's so painful that, if I told it any other way, I would probably be crying for days. Because it was so sad to see that lady disgrace herself like that. And, I don't know if they told her that's what she had to do. If that's, she felt emboldened to do that because she thinks she is all of that. I don't know the reasons why she chose to perform like that. But I think Young Thug and all of them should be let go. I really do. And if they really did some of the wrong that she said that they did, then their trials need to be moved. They need to get a fair and impartial hearing. All those young guys she's put away. And the way she displayed herself in that courtroom. If that don't scream Rico, Like everybody think I got them in a RICO case. I don't know how these people think I got them in the RICO case. She is the DA. I can't get you in nothing. But the way that lady behaved in that courtroom, even her brilliant father, he tried to save his daughter. But even he know he lied. All those stories he told across America. And she said that Mr. Wade traveled all 6 continents. But she couldn't even tell us what continent her dad was on. And he said he was in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's sad. We need to help each other. We need to do better. There's only one race. It's the human race. And now there's AI. And I'm going to do an article about that when I come back. But I'm going to be talking about incarceration is where I'm going now. Regina said, no, you told the DA story very well. You have to bring some humor sometimes to some of this foolishness. Thank you, Regina. I appreciate you so very much. Yeah, this stuff is crazy. I tell you, it's really sad. But I wish people would go look at it for themselves. Like I said, the best person that I seen that put together this story, if you just want to see it all without having to look at different videos, go look at Choke No Joke. He's no joke with this story. He did a beautiful job. It's about 7 or 8 hours, so you would get it all. Very good. And then Judge Joe Brown, he's with this lady, and he did commentary from a legal perspective and, you know, from an elder. And I agreed with about 95% of what he said, and I really don't agree with him much, but I know he's a walking encyclopedia. He's very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. And he really, really, really told it like it is. So, on that note, I think I'm going to get ready to close. We know that Terrence got thrown under the bus. So now it's a possibility the judge is going to let us know by Friday of this week. Now they probably finna open up all the stuff all over again. Now they're going to have to really testify. And he's going to have to testify to everything. And Nathan Wade is going to have to testify because it ain't going to be no more privilege. Because that lady, Miss Cross, crossed him out and got him to testify to something that he said was privileged. So therefore now, he's going to lose his privilege. It's finna get ugly now, y'all. It's finna get real ugly. Some people may laugh and think it's funny, but it's not. But we do have to laugh to keep from crying. And then we got to know what's going on to know what's happening. Most of us don't understand the nature of politics. Just like we don't understand when we're being accused of certain crimes, the nature of the crime. The nature is very important because it deals with the jurisdiction. And you need to know the jurisdiction, whether it's maritime or admiralty, contract, all of which deals with commerce, money. That's why I started this video off with money. And I'm going to end it with money. Well, he threw himself away. No, he didn't think he did. He thought he was just getting to walk away clean. Trust me, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to testify at all. He was subpoenaed. It has everything to do with it because they just letting you know they boo they, you know, and In order to belong to anything, you got to belong to something. If you want to go high, you're only going to get so far. You know, that's all that's about. Of course, that's another story for another day. But once we learn that really there is no money, money is silver and gold, we don't have that. We have Federal Reserve notes, and now we're going to digital currency. We have to look at the value of things and what you value and how you value yourself. And that particular day, the DA showed no value. Nathan Wade shown himself to be a user. Miss Yurdy was a casualty of war. But think about that relationship, y'all. They said the phone record showed that he was at that condo a whole lot of times. He said the phone records are a lie. Kind of like when they on paternity court and she pull out that paperwork. The only way you not the daddy if it come back zero. But if it's got numbers, you are, as Maury would say, the father. Believe it, whether you want to or not. I love our sons, and I want y'all to know that. But sons and daughters, we got to do better. We got to start seeing ourselves better. Not in how we look in a mirror, but how we look on the inside. We got to start dealing with our pain. We got to start helping that little girl and that little boy inside of us heal. We got to quit pointing fingers. We got to be responsible and accountable. We got to learn how to love. We're so far away from it. Much of the time, if you receive love, you reject it because it's not familiar to you. That's not everybody. That's most of us. I don't ever do all-inclusive because it's not all of nothing but the all. Who, whatever the all is to you. Go back and listen to the 7 Hermetic Principles. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube. They read the book just like I do. He reads much better than I do. I stumble over words. He doesn't. Regina said, I don't understand. Okay, I read that. Not the phone records and phone towers are lying on him. Yep, that's what he said. Okay, let me know. You know I know you will. Please let me know. And you know I'll do it. You might be busy, but you can go back and look and see that I would have done it. So please let me know. I love your ideas. I've done them every time you suggest them. So I thank you for the suggestions. And if anybody has a suggestion that they want me to do, you can inbox me on IG. You can email me. And I will definitely do it. Certainly consider it, but I will more than likely do it if it's doable on YouTube. Again, we don't know what is and is not anymore, so I'm not going to worry about that. I know what I believe to be. Just like when I grade this video, I'm going to believe it to be one way. They may believe it to be another. But they do give us a chance to self-certify, and I have gotten high grades on my self-certification. So I don't plan to change. It is what it is. I came here to help uplift fallen humanity. And I'm going to leave y'all with what Noble Drew Ali taught us as Moors. And that's our bloodline, not a religious creed. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to people who know who they are, indigenous to the land all over the world. He told us the way that we handle business is to circle our emotions, square our conduct, and speak in an intelligent tone. That's how you can be heard. I don't always do that. I'm very dramatic and emotional. But I work very hard. And I worked for 42 years in the public. Never once in my professional job did I use profanity. Did I holler at a client? Not once. Now I got with them in my tone, and I got just like they got, very condescending and like this. But never, ever did I lose my cool, because my life depended on it. It was my livelihood. And I had to take care of my son and I, with the help of my family. I don't know how mothers do it with more than one child. I commend you all. Fathers, single fathers, I commend you. And that's from the bottom of Toothless Heart. Y'all, I want y'all to know that I even got an email today that said on Discord, we're going to have to change our names from any discriminatory sounding name. So Toothless Tiger now is discriminatory. Isn't that something? I don't go on Discord, but they told me if I didn't choose another name, they would choose one for me. They can choose one for me. I don't go there anyway. Regina said, I always check this community guidelines. YouTube keeps changing them. Yet still, some people keep doing their foolishness and YouTube does nothing. That's true. And I do check community guidelines. And like I said, I learned even how to do the second appeal and everything. But, you know, when it's something they don't want to move forward, they're not going to tell you anything until after the second appeal. And therefore, you can't do anything. But the way they choose the words and then the way they use events and things like that, it could be anything that they want to use to say that you don't meet the guidelines or the terms of service. I just hate that they say it as if you're really violating something on purpose. I just don't understand why, whatever it is, why don't they give you an opportunity to edit it just like they do when someone hits you with a privacy strike or a copyright strike? You can go and edit that out and your video will then become eligible for monetization. But when it's something that they deem unnecessary or shouldn't be, then they don't tell you to after the fact. They've already made the final decision. And that's okay, as long as they allow the video to play, and they do. And you can get funds from your premiums, and I don't, you know, that's about a penny or two. And you can get any super chats or stickers or thanks that you get. But unfortunately, you know, I don't get enough to be over that threshold that I have. And I didn't know you could change the threshold, so it can be changed. So that's good to know. So it's not like no YouTube is just after Toothless Tiger. That's not it. And I don't view it that way. Some people say, well, because you listed them in your lawsuit. No, that can't be it, because they knew that they couldn't be sued. So why would they be mad at me for that? And who would remember me? Nobody is sitting there with the Toothless Tigers. Oh, we're going to just monitor Toothless Tigers so that we can do this and that. That's not how that works. It doesn't work like that. I don't believe that. Subject matter may be different. That might be different. But not little old me. Just a little old hood good from the projects. Not me. But again, I want to say good night to everybody. Thank you. I'm getting ready to leave the Tiger's Den. I'm going to play again the money song. And of course, I got to end with the children are our future because I really believe they are. So I think I'm going to play that first, and then I'm going to play the money song because that's what all of this is about. And we got to learn that it's more to life than the love of money. We got to understand that, as D.A. Willis would say, money is fungible. We got to really understand. We got to get back to bartering and doing what we used to do as a people. We got to get back to honor and respect of our ancestors. We got to serve a holy God, if that's who you believe in, through his son, Jesus Christ. Whatever you choose, if you choose Allah through Muhammad, whatever you choose, I say get back to the roots of the principles, because really they all are founded on the same 7 Hermetic principles. The all, the law of correspondence, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of gender, and it's one law that I just forgot. I need to be able to say all 7 of them because they're very important, and that's what everything is based off of, to be honest. From the Kybalion, number 1, the principle of mentalism. Number 2, the principle of correspondence. Number 3, the principle of vibration. Number 4, the principle of polarity. Number 5, the principle of rhythm. Number 6, the principle of cause and effect. Number 7, the principle of gender. We got to get back into those things that are. That's how we can learn to love ourselves and manifest things in our lives. Many have issue with those words, but I promise you, you got to heal the little girl and the little boy inside. That's why I have t-shirts, Hitting the Womb Man Inside. I have t-shirts, I have mugs, I have merchandise. I don't push them a lot, but I have them. And if I don't leave now, I'll start a whole nother conversation. So everybody, have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I want to do this for Lovey. Thank you so much, Lovey. So Alicia, I want to do it for you again too. I'm leaving the Tiger's Den. Good night, everybody. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us who we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of takes you to a lonely place, find yourself in love. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care whose feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean, mean green, almighty dollar, cash money. Well, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, cash money. People don't let money. Don't let money change you. Almighty dollar. They just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people don't let money, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money. Money.